Morning, VIPs. We got a lot of news this morning. One second, let me just make sure. Yep, I got the right mic. Okay, wow. Ooh, look at that. Listen, I'm going to go through some individual stuff and then SPY, or maybe we'll just peek at SPY, okay? SPY down 0.24%, QQQ, about stable. So that's good, okay? The pre-market earnings are already out. I think today we're going to be solid. Some level of stability for individual stocks to move on catalyst. And you can see we've been in this bear market rally, which I think has at least legs till at least a 50 DMA 385. That's what I'm thinking right now, unless it gets derailed by big tech earnings tonight. Big tech earnings start with Microsoft and Google, Meta, Shop, Apple, Amazon, Intel. All that is coming. Now let's go to some individual opportunities. And I think I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to do some trades today. I'm excited. I already took something. So CALX, okay, Chris has been telling us about CALX. This is in the same sector as Clearfield. Okay, I actually picked up some Clearfield yesterday in anticipation of CALX earnings because he said CALX could be an early read on Clearfield, and now that's turning out to be true. It looks like CALX is in a conference call right now. It's up 9%. And you already see a sentiment move in Clearfield, although the bid is only 107. So perhaps there's an opportunity to get in. Look at this. It looks like it's exploding, but the bid is only 107. So there's an opportunity to get this early. I made this along with XXII, my 2 trade of the week picks for Wolf Financial. That show has not been going on was canceled 2 weeks ago. Then I couldn't make it last week. So now we're back to our regular schedule. So Clearfield and XXII, we won on Clearfield about a couple months ago when we anticipated this cup breakout. So now put Clearfield in again. There's multiple catalysts here, multiple factors, I should say. Catalysts are one of them, but we broke the 50 DMA on Clearfield yesterday, closed above it. Now you get a sympathy move off CALX earnings, and then you can have also an earnings anticipation move. So I think it's a clear shot to at least this gap here. The top of this gap is 114.50. Well, it's there right now. Surprise, surprise. So 114.50 right now. But I think hopefully you can, if I can pick this up at 108, 109, something like that in pre-market, I'll do that in addition to shares I picked up yesterday. But I think that's the minimum target is this 114.50 area and potentially all the way up to challenging the 52-week high again. So this is the area that we're going to be playing in, and I think it could happen before earnings. Now, so we got, what are the 3 factors? Technical break, sentiment, sympathy move with CALX. We also have earnings anticipation one, catalyst. And also yesterday we had a catalyst with Clearfield, got an upgrade by a broker to $122. Chris put that in last night in the Clearfield room. So those are many, many factors, I think, pointing to the possibility, or I think probability, that along with the stability right now in SPY and QQQ, that Clearfield can have a great day today. I think I'm going to try to intraday trade this on top of the long-term shares I have. COMM is another one to look at, which may benefit from Clearfield, but I take your cues from Chris Harbert in the trading room on whether he thinks COMM could have a sympathy move. He's already mentioned for sure that the read-through is good for Clearfield. All right. Yeah, a bunch of other items we're going to get to. I'm going to jump around here because there were lots of news and earnings this morning, so I didn't have a chance to order my watch list in the ideal kind of way I like to do for our show. So let's go next to Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola had earnings that were good, and seeing that continued trend that food stocks are doing well. So Coca-Cola is up at the 50 DMA right now. Really too big of a company for me to personally play, not my type of thing, but you can see on the weekly, it has room to about 60.87. And lots of people who like to do stock options on the big names, and the RSI is low. Maybe this is a swing play to $60.87. As far as earnings that I am playing with a larger cap, this is $50 billion. I don't know, why do I like ADM but not Coca-Cola? $250 billion versus $50 billion. Maybe that's why. Okay, it trades a little bit thinner. ADM, agriculture space, which I have a little affinity towards because of since the war we coined that new FANG thing. So agriculture, ADM earnings this morning was a blowout. Look at the news this morning. 186 beats a 141 estimate. 24.7 billion beats 22.4 billion estimate. And if you read through the earnings release, it's all bullishness. Okay. So I'm thinking this is good enough to break. Well, let's see where the high's at recently. $92. So $92 is your next resistance level, and then it's your all-time high after that. Okay, those are your two resistance levels, 92 and then 99. 92, 99. And I think ADM could run. Hey, I picked him up at 90 and change this morning. So far in pre-market, I've been wrong, but that's fine. Maybe this is going to take multiple days. We'll see. Or maybe it'll just take off today. So a couple bigger cap earnings plays already I'm excited about. Clearfield, ADM, Coca-Cola perhaps do well. I'm not playing that personally. All right. So lots of things going on. Where do I go? I got to jump around a little bit. Okay, Rumble up this morning, up 3% because of this collaboration with Steve Will Do It. He's doing. He just opened his Rumble channel yesterday, and he put a competition on Instagram. If people follow him on Rumble, plus a couple other social media actions he got to take, then you can get $40,000 cash payout. While his Rumble channel 100,000 subscribers. More importantly, let's see if we can get into the App Store. Let's go to the App Store and I'll show you this. If you open Rumble in the App Store, Rumble was ranked like 17 or 18 yesterday, and now it's number 6. Back in a company with Google, Snapchat, YouTube, and Instagram. So that's a huge move for Rumble this morning. So that's why you're seeing the bounce back. And listen, you're going to see things like this throughout. I mean, for the foreseeable future, Rumble is going to be bringing on creators, and they're going to see pops in their app rankings. So that's why like sharp drops, I think, can be bought. Now, I hesitate a little bit because I didn't know how low it was going to go. I only bought it once the company came out, started defending itself after that short report. But I also sold most of my trading shares. I did pick up some warrants I'm still holding. So, but that's the name of the game. Volatility here, and the dips are going to be buyable. Now, let's see where we should jump next, because Rumble is getting a sentiment premium because of politics, right? Which is the other one that could have a sentiment premium that came in the newsfeed today. Here it is, AIAD. Actually, there's a couple of them. So AIAD, this was one very early on last year with DWAC. It just exploded from like a penny to 20 cents, and it's really pulled back. Now there's a catalyst this morning which can cause it to pop again. I may take a chance on this. If I can get this at 4.8 cents or 0.004, whatever. What is that number? Okay, if I think I may take a chance on this. It is a lot of shares outstanding. It's 5 million market cap, so it's not necessarily cheap, but they have news this morning. News AI advertising stands with Glorify. Now, if you go to Glorify, you'll see that Glorify is owned by Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a co-founder of Glorify. Now, if you're not into the political scene, maybe you don't know that Candace Owens is hugely popular, millions of followers on Twitter. And I think that this potentially could make its rounds into the Trump stocks community and get a sentiment move this morning. I may be buying this at 0.0048 cents this morning for a trade. Okay, that's a over-the-counter stock. It does not trade pre-market. Actually, while we're at it, there's another one. I've been telling people to look at this. Unfortunately, I don't have time. I'm going to say it again because I think there's an opportunity here. If someone has time, research AREB. Take a look at the fundamentals. There may be an opportunity here. This looks like another one of these stocks that could be aligned politically. They do like patriotic sales. I think they just like bought a company that does gun sales. It doesn't show up in the TD app, but it actually shows up in our StoryTrading app. We have a cleaner newsfeed, it looks like, than TD Ameritrade, a better newsfeed than TD Ameritrade with our partners. So check out in the StoryTrading app, check out AREB. I put a nugget in there about the news, one of the recent news items here yesterday, actually, about this gun company they bought. And also, they sell patriotic items. And on the surface, I think they pre-announced some sort of revenue number, which again is not over here in this particular news feed, which makes it look cheap on the surface, makes it look too cheap, which is why I keep saying someone needs to research this to see what the catch is, what the capital structure is, what's going on here, because it says 1.6 million market cap. Probably that's not true. Worth researching. This one also can get a sentiment pop. So we got 3 stocks sentiment related that I think can do well in the near term. That's Rumble, AIAD, and AREB. So all interesting stocks to look at. Now, going back to our newsfeed, INVE, our watch list. INVE, one of my favorite long-term stocks. I have some, and we've interviewed the CEO. many times. I may bring him on again soon. Maybe we'll schedule something for after earnings, but they had some news aligning them with the cannabis space this morning. Identiv and TruGreen delivered the world's first end-to-end smart packaging technology to cannabis industry. Maybe you get a sentiment pop out of that. Now, the deal itself didn't seem like there were no numbers attached to it. Doesn't seem like necessarily huge deal, but you can see we're kind of at a state, potentially a support level here. I mean, $10, 200 DMA, 200 week moving average. I'd like to kind of see that, but 1083 is held here. So perhaps the technical support that it's showing so far, combined with the news this morning and the cannabis sentiment, can get this to start going again, or at least it's something maybe we should start looking at again for a possibility of going overweight some shares. So that's INVE, something worth looking at. ARG, we interviewed the CEO last night. The recording, we'll put it up in our app shortly. I'll do it this morning. I haven't had a chance to put the recording credentials on there, but we'll put that up in the archive section of events in our app. You can listen to this. Sanjay helped me interview the CEO last night. Won't get into all of the details here. I think there probably is a trade opportunity from a value perspective. It's kind of like at a bottom of a channel, but sentiment wise, I don't see anything explosive here that can cause a sentiment premium. I don't see anything exciting about their TAM. I don't see anything about some like explosive hockey stick growth coming up that could make this a potential like multi-bagger this year. I don't see that here, but it looks like a solid company, profitable, probably at the bottom of its like value range. So maybe an opportunity there for ARG. If that's your type of thing, I'm more into the exciting stuff and things with big TAMs and inflection points. So I'm probably not going to, maybe I'll do a small trade on this. I think we got a good read into earnings next quarter. Actually, if you read through the lines on that conference call, I think earnings might be a surprise. So maybe this is an earnings play. So take a look at the AIRG chart. Take a look at the interview if you missed it last night. It'll be up on the app shortly. All right. XXII, my other stock I picked for trade of the week. LD Micro presentation tomorrow. At this point, at the least, I don't expect it to challenge, the downside I've been saying about 105. With LD Micro tomorrow, I don't think 105 is happening today. All right. So I think we're in the safe for now. And do we see that enough of event anticipation for the 50 DMA to break today, or do we have to wait for LD Micro tomorrow? Now, what could happen is LD Micro could be sell the news tomorrow. All right. So it really depends how that presentation is. I don't know if that's live stream. We'll have to see if that's live stream. That'll be great to pick that up. But XXII, that's the story. And I'm still in this, still haven't sold any for my dollar entry. I even bought more at $1.25, averaging up. So I'm still sticking with this because that CEO really impressed me, and there's catalysts coming up besides just the LD Micro. We'll have to see what happens with that. I lost my SMAs, put them back in. All right, so what else do we have this morning? Well, Kodak, I was looking at this more closely, thinking about the last earnings report and looking at earnings as they're coming out. There's been fewer, some with the earnings that have been coming out so far and the read-throughs I'm seeing on that, I'm thinking Kodak will still be okay. We're worried about inflation and recession, all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking Kodak can have an awesome quarter. Earnings should be coming up in the November 8th or so, based on when they reported. I think it was August 8th they reported. It's hard to see here, but again, in the StoryTrading app, you can actually see when they reported last. It was August 8th. Like this TD app is filled with bogus stories, which are complete like nonsense and noise. I don't know why they do that to their newsfeed. But anyway, you can see it in the StoryTrading app. It was like August 8th, so November 8th or so. Kodak, I may go overweight on Kodak going into earnings for a trade. All right, we gave you a lot there. Oh, well, RELL keeps hitting new all-time highs like every single day, up every single day, whatever, man. I'm just holding this. Again, if you haven't sold yet, if you have a big position, probably a good time to do that. You'll probably get a pullback opportunity at some point, maybe at $20 to $22. I don't know, but I have a small enough position to just keep riding this thing, and I think if they keep executing, it could go $30, $40 or more. So we'll see. I think this thing is ready near term to challenge its all-time highs. Okay, that's easy enough said. There are size low. Look at that. RSI down there on the 1 year, on the 6-month chart, 69, on the 1 year chart, 67. Historically, this thing peaks out in the 80s. And I don't see technical resistance really. It can re-challenge its highs at this point. Maybe this one here, 24.78, is a resistance before that 27. So maybe closer to 24.25 is a resistance rather than 27. But, I'm just sticking with it. I'm not trading it. This thing's probably going to go to the 30s at some point. All right. So that's it. We got TLT is up this morning. I like it. And that's why ARKK is up this morning. ARKK has been underperforming because TLT, the worse TLT does, the worse that is for interest rates, the worse it is for growth companies. I don't know if you've noticed that correlation, but this is good news. This means we could see a good day for risk assets, seeing TLT up. It's so counterintuitive. Remember the good old days, where there was an inverse relationship between bonds and stocks? Not anymore. Now, if bonds go up, stocks go up because of what's going on with interest rates and the potential systemic risk with TLT just crashing. So that's a good thing. The TLT is up today. We could see a great day for risk assets today. I think today's a good day to take some risks, do some trades. So I'm excited about that. I already took ADM. I think I'm going to try to add more Clearfield shares, AIAD shares. So let's have fun today. Let's make some money. I hope I'm right on this. We'll be back at 4 p.m. to see if I'm a dumbass or I got something right. All right. Talk to you guys soon.